Hi everyone. My lighting isn't great. I don't feel like turning on the overhead light. It'll be alright. I'm actually just kind of laying on my bed. You can see my ceiling fan above me. What is it that makes me yawn all the time when I'm talking to do a YouTube video? It's like it triggers a yawn response in me. That is weird. So I went back and looked. I don't always look at my videos before I post them. That's the first thing I should tell you. I went back and looked at the one where I did the DNA one. And there's a few things I want to tell you about that. First, I'm sorry for showing you my spit so much. And for you having to hear me spit. It truly took me well over 30 minutes to get it full of my spit. And when my husband came home, I told him, I was like, dude, it's going to be like a gallon. They say it's a quarter of a teaspoon, but it's more like a gallon. And so help me, Lord, he spit once. And even including the bubbles were over the top of the line. And he had already had enough. And I was like, how? I mean, how? And I guess I just don't have, or didn't have, a lot of saliva that day. Couple things I've noticed when I do these videos. One, lately I look a lot like a hag, but I have been sick a lot. Doing a lot better today. I mean, I have taken Sudafed a couple times and used some nasal spray. My throat is still sore, but I've only eaten like 2 fudge pops. I don't need to buy stock in them today. So I'm not as under the weather as I have been, but I'm a little hoarse, I think, now. So here are some things that I've noticed. One, I sounded like a complete idiot who could not do math. Because for some reason, $70 and $70 in my brain when I was making that video about the DNA kits equaled 130. Now, everybody knows that equals 140. So, it's a little preemptive, but it's there. Good enough. The scales were nice to me yesterday or the day before. I don't even know if I told y'all this. It said I was 278.4, I want to say. I'm weighing myself too often. I really am. Especially when it's largely dependent on my, honestly, my bowel status. Which is not good. I completely expected it to be... I just expected to be... I mean, I was actually scared of, having to go to the bathroom so much. And having, diarrhea a lot. Especially because y'all know, as I've told you before, I could not even care for myself in that way, to, clean myself. And so the thought of having, diarrhea afterwards, really upset me. Well, here I am 9 months later, and, I'm taking Senecot as 2 of them every day. Increased it to 3 some days, and it's still difficult, So I might have to try, I don't know, a balm. No, I'll go and try other methods. But I was trying to do things more naturally first. So, here's another thing I've noticed. Y'all can tell my top teeth are jacked up. I really did have braces. Honest to goodness. And they changed the orthodontist on me 3 times from the time I was 11 until I was 17, and I finally got fed up and took them off. after I got married. And yes, I got married when I was 17, shortly before I turned 18. But I've always like watched on TV, and I can't stand watching somebody who talks like out of the side of their mouth a little bit. And oh my goodness, when you see yourself constantly doing videos and find out you're one of those people and you didn't even know it, oh, mortifying. Mortifying. So if you're like me and it drives you crazy to see that, I apologize. Actually, if you're like me and it used to drive me crazy to see that, you probably have stopped watching any of my videos because you can't stand to see me talk out of the side of my mouth a little. That's okay. And the other thing I've noticed is like before I had surgery, I was big. I was 412 pounds. We all know the story. And I constantly had yeast rashes under my stomach and like in my groin area between my legs. And then I constantly had to have like cream and stuff put on it. And shortly after I had surgery, it went away. You guys are getting treated to extra yawns today. So, and I think at that time it was because my belly was out. It hung down some, but it was out and it was big. And so not any air got to it. Well, now kind of it's like the same but an opposite thing is happening. Like my belly's deflated, but it's wanting to sag down lower. And so it's getting no air to it again under my stomach. And yeah, so I feel like some rashes are probably going to start happening soon. Pretty soon. I did buy a few clothes at Walmart the other day. It's so nice to be able to just go and shop a size and get it in a store instead of in a catalog and like at a reasonable price. I'm really happy about that. And the other thing I was going to say, and just drives me crazy, is that in my earlier videos, I'm sure everybody could tell, I used to have pretty bad acne. And it, like, basically has gone away. And then, honest to goodness, I don't think I had a pimple yesterday. And today, I got a couple of them, and I think something coming up here. I don't even know. Moral of the story is, the acne has significantly decreased, but not, has not left the building. So, geez. I know I have some other thoughts, and I'm forgetting to share them. Oh, so my arms, I will show you a little bit. My bat wings are coming in good. Let me show you. It's kind of weird looking. And I don't know what I think about that. It doesn't really bother me. It just doesn't really bother me. A little bit worried about whether or not I'm gonna have to like wear hats at the beach, because we go the end of June through the beginning of July every year with my best friend, and I'm worried that my hair might be thinner even more by then, and I don't want to get a sunburn on my head. So I might have to like wear hats, which is, I mean, I don't mind hats, but when it's hot, a hat is hot. So that's one thing. It's been pretty warm here. When we first moved in this place, I made my husband put ceiling fans in every room. Well, I mean, not every room. They're not in the bathroom. Because we have a furnace for heat, but we don't have central air. And so we have to use window air conditioners. And I want to get a heating unit, sometime in the next few years, because this air conditioner business just gets on my nerves. Well, it's been pretty warm, and we open up the windows, but one thing that has been a blessing is that I'm not hot like I was last year. So it doesn't bother me as bad. I'm not as bothered by it. So anyway, I think that's all. This video has already gone over 10 minutes. And I just wanted to say, I'm on the mend, hopefully. Sorry about my crappy video qualities. I've noticed I'm a little bit crazy in this. I already knew I was crazy, but in the stuff that I do, yes, I'll send a message from my bathtub, and sure, I'm going to let you watch me spit. I did try to duck my head some, but then I held it up and showed it to you. Some things are a little not what everybody else would do, but, I'm okay. I'm me, and I'm okay with that. So, if you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, send me a message. I do love to hear from you. If you're new, hit like, subscribe, send me a comment, anything. That's all I have for now. Wherever you are in your journey, I hope you're doing well. Bye.